Hey guys, it's Chelsea, and it's time for me to give my persuasive speech. Did you know that this summer in July, The Dark Knight Rises was the largest grossing 2D film in history, with a grossing of $160.9 million. Obviously, this film was about the famous superhero Batman. Did you know that Batman was also first serialized as a comic book in 1939 by the publisher Detective Comics? Of course, Detective Comics would become to known DC Comics. DC Comics are home to other famous superheroes such as Superman, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Catwoman, and of course, Robin. I first became interested in DC Comics this summer when I was on a doctor-ordered staycation, and a few of my friends recommended that I go to the library and read some comic books. So after reading from a bunch of different publishers, I now have the firm belief that DC Comics publish the best comic books ever. I believe this because they are active in staying current to the times. They're proactive in raising women's rights awareness, and they also advocate for gay rights awareness. All right. First, I'd like to discuss 3 ways in which DC Comics is able to maintain their currency no matter what time period they're published in. During World War II, when comic books were first being published, DC made sure that their superheroes were all anti-war. The superheroes took no pleasure in spilling blood, but they understood that justice needed to be sought, just like the soldiers from America who were abroad. Also, a decade ago, in 2003, only one section of the book market was growing, and that was graphic novels. So DC decided to take advantage of this growth and published a 10th anniversary edition of their comic book Vertigo. They published 100,000 copies, which was the largest publishing of any DC comic at the time. And also, Batman, as he ages, seems to keep up with his audience. In 1939, when he was first published, it was for children, and it was like kind of a fun comic strip. But as Batman grows older, so does his audience, and the themes of Batman have become much more noticeably dark and mature. Second, I would like to discuss how DC Comics have been able to raise awareness for women's rights and how they've always portrayed women in a strong and positive light. First of all, Wonder Woman, Lois Lane, and Catwoman, 3 classic women from DC Comics, are all introduced as strong, independent women and that they have minds of their own. When they were first introduced in the 1940s, they all reflected Rosie the Riveter, who was extremely important in taking women out of their traditional roles and portraying women as highly intelligent and brave. Most notably, Wonder Woman is the archetype, really, that DC Comics have supported women's rights. She's represented with a strong women body, and she reverses traditional gender roles in her comic books. And she teaches women to be strong and to earn their own living. In 1968, she was stripped of her Amazon powers because DC Comics wanted to prove that, women could be strong without superpowers. And that was kind of a funny thing because feminists were a little offended, so they were sensitive to that point and they gave her powers back. Finally, I would like to tell how DC Comics have been able to raise awareness to gay rights. This is done through the comic book The Green Lantern in their issue 154. There's a gay hate crime that happens to Terry, the Green Lantern's assistant. Him and his boyfriend kiss, and thugs yell out at him and assault Terry. He's admitted to the hospital with a skull fracture, a broken arm, broken legs, 4 broken ribs, a collapsed lung, danger of losing his left eye, he's on a respirator, and he's in a coma. The Green Lantern is really outraged by this, and he goes and avenges Terry's assault and, all the horrible things that have happened to him. 50 letters were actually sent to the editor just on this issue alone, and 52% of those letters are all in support of the gay awareness. They say that the Green Lantern comic has prompted understanding for gay youth and empathy for the LGBT community. The Green Lantern provides a safe and reliable medium in which anti-gay hate crimes can be discussed, and victims of violent acts can share their stories. And the letters also suggest that adolescents do want to to discuss gay matters in a mature fashion and discuss the daily matters of LGBT communities, their friends, and their families. All right. The reasons stated are not the only reasons why I think DC Comics are the best comic publisher, but due to time constraints, they're the three most important. So, as a review, DC Comics are always relevant to the times. They stay positive in their viewpoints of women, and they are proactive in gay rights. So, in conclusion, DC Comics are the best, and I highly recommend that you treat yourself to a good old-fashioned comic book as a reward for making it through finals. Good luck, you guys.